So here's shocking information in the child pornography case of a San Antonio man who will now spend the next 11 years in prison. 47-year-old Marlon Zurita was found with more than 40,000 pictures and videos of child sexual abuse images on several devices. He pleaded guilty in December 2022. Zurita will also have to pay $90,000 in restitution and give up those devices.
8 people are dead after a crash DPS officials say was a human smuggling attempt. Happened yesterday near Batesville, which is about an hour and a half southwest of San Antonio. 67-year-old Jose and 65-year-old Isabel Lerma from Georgia were killed in that wreck, along with 5 people in the other car, including the driver. The white car was being chased by Zavala County Sheriff's deputies when it passed an 18-wheeler in a no-pass zone. It slammed head-on into the Lerma's SUV, which caught fire. Several of the victims were from the Honduras.
Nate Paul, whose relationship to Attorney General Ken Paxton was central to his impeachment trial, is now being charged with new crimes by federal prosecutors. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Paul now faces 4 new counts of wire fraud related to allegations that he lied to business partners who invested in real estate with his company. He was already charged back in June on 8 other counts of false statements to lenders. Paul's trial is scheduled for July of next year. Meanwhile, 5 presidential candidates took the stage in Miami last night for the 3rd Republican primary debate.
On the stage, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, and entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. Here's Christian Benavides with highlights.
5 Republican candidates vying to overtake former President Trump's lead debated each other Wednesday night. They focused on Israel's effort to crush Hamas after the October 7th terror attack.
I would be telling Bibi, finish the job once and for all with these butchers, Hamas.
I would tell him to smoke those terrorists on his southern border.
And Russia's war on Ukraine.
Here is a freedom-loving, pro-American country that is fighting for its survival and its democracy.
They took on the abortion issue after Ohio voters approved an amendment to enshrine the right to abortion in the state's constitution.
We need a 15-week federal limit. 3 out of 4 Americans agree with a 15-week limit.
And they tackled the economy.
This country is in trouble, and the elites that have put us here, they don't care about you. They don't care that you're having to grapple with higher grocery prices or have higher gas prices.
The Republican hopeful slammed President Biden's first term in the White House.
What we don't need is Biden falling all over himself to get back in the Iran deal.
And just a few miles from the debate, former President Donald Trump held a campaign rally, but his name came up several times during the night.
Anybody who's going to be spending the next year and a half of their life focusing on keeping themselves out of jail and courtrooms cannot lead this party or this country.
The Republican nomination process kicks into high gear in January with the Iowa caucuses. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Trump's campaign has suggested the Republican National Committee should stop holding debates and instead focus on supporting the former president's efforts to regain the White House.
We're right at 6:10 this morning. Some new tests shining a light on safety in large trucks. We'll have that coming up at 6:15. How they expose serious flaws, plus the redesigned regulators are asking automakers to make.
Out there this morning, we've got cloudy skies. It's been dry, but I think showers are going to start moving in relatively soon here in the next hour or so. And then later on this afternoon, good chance for some rain, some heavy downpours, maybe a rumble of thunder, and temperatures dropping. Northerly winds at about 15 to 20 miles per hour and temperatures in the 60s. So have the jacket and umbrella. Cold front early this afternoon, scattered rain today and tonight, and fall weather is on the way. We'll take a look at those temperatures. More KENS 5 News after the break.
I'm so sorry. Can you say that again? Hi. Good morning. Okay, cool. We will have the track. Okay. Can we do one map, 2, please? Thank you.
.613, welcome back. An arrest has been made in the death of a synagogue leader in Detroit.
Samantha Wall was found stabbed to death outside her Michigan home October 21st. Police have not identified the suspect, said details of the investigation will remain confidential right now. Authorities don't think it was a hate crime. It was motivated by anti-Semitism, and they're treating it as a domestic dispute.
Also, a warning about a fake priest who's apparently robbing churches in Texas. The Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston sent out this statewide alert. Officials saying the man calls himself Father Martin and is believed to have targeted multiple parishes around the country. Officials say the fake priest stole from a Houston church after telling staff members that he was supposed to be staying in the parish rectory. He also has outstanding warrants this morning in other states.
Americans are piling up record credit card balances, and a lot of people falling behind on payments. Balances hit more than $1 trillion during the third quarter, leaping by a record $154 billion from the year before. The increase is the biggest since the New York Fed started tracking that data in 1999. And if you drive a truck, or maybe you're in the market for a truck, this is for you. New crash test data is really opening a lot of people's eyes.
Yes, so special attention now being paid to the back seat. Now industry leaders and regulators want to make sure that everything is being done to protect people on the roads. Tanya Bacchus expands on those results.
A new series of crash tests. The large pickups produced mixed results. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety looked at 4 popular brands. All of them performed well during a side impact collision. And in a head-on crash, the vehicles protected the driver, but all 4 were given a marginal or poor grade at preventing injury to riders in the back seat.
In all 4 cases, the pelvis of the rear occupant slid under the belt.
Joe Nolan and researchers at the IIHS used a dummy about the size of an adolescent. He says it can be dangerous when the pelvis slides under the belt.
In the real world, we see as a problem in rear seat occupants where abdominal injuries can be quite severe.
Researchers stress that overall, today's vehicles are very safe, but this new test looking at backseat performance is exposing some flaws.
The same crash has been studied in other vehicles, from minivans to SUVs, and also produced poor results. The IIHS wants automakers to redesign seatbelts in the back to be as safe and effective as those in the front.
The automakers have demonstrated a long record of being able to make changes once issues have been identified.
The IIHS says automakers are already looking at making those changes in future vehicles. Tanya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Boy, and everybody thinks big trucks are safe.
Yeah, unfortunately, it depends on where you sit in the vehicle.
I guess.
Right. Safer in the front.
Well, and the thing is, too, I mean, that's why they do these tests, you know, so they can
Right.
shine a light on really the problem areas, and then now hopefully changes will come soon.
We've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. But most importantly, just make sure you do wear your seatbelt.
Yes.
Always. Help teach your kids that too. And as you head out for your morning commute, safety first, my friends. Always, first and foremost, put safety at the forefront of your morning commute. You can see traffic getting pretty bad. 35 north at the 410 northern split. This is due to some construction we've had in this area all morning long. You can see it's still stacking up. The good news is it's in the clearing stages. But as you can see, you're caught up in some bumper to bumper if you're headed that direction. On my map, here's how it's going to affect you. So you can see the red right here in that stretch back to Eisenhower's, where you're going to see those slowdowns really only adding about 10 minutes onto your drive. But if you head north on 35, all the way between Weidner and that 410 split is where you're going to see that slow moving traffic. Eastbound drivers on 410 between Austin Highway and I-35, that left lane is closed. You're seeing about a 5-10 minute delay due to that construction, as well as 5 minutes added on to that drive time as you head east between Loop 16 on Loop 1604, I should say, between Lookout Road and I-35. Now, check on those tires because we want to make sure they're working well. We don't want you to get stalled out on the roadway. That's what's happened to this drive on 35 southbound at Starlight. They're just off on the left shoulder. Make sure you're moving away from that left lane. As we head outside, though, give you a live look at those traffic conditions. 410 at Ray Ellison starting to pick up a little bit, mainly my northbound lanes that are starting to get a little more busy as you head out. But we want to check on our roadways with our live weather tracker. You can see JJ is out on 90 eastbound at Callahan, and look at this, Paul.
Yeah.
The wipers are going. So you were talking about that rain moving in. How's it looking for us timeline-wise? It's kind of matching up with what you were saying.
Yeah, just now moving in, and it's going to be light initially, real light, maybe some drizzle and some light sprinkles out there. I'll show you the radar here in just a minute. Average high temperature, 74. And guess what? I think we're going to hit that. And the normal low is 52, and I think we may get close to that late tonight. And so the record books are going to reflect kind of a normal day, but it's anything but normal. Out there this morning, we're in the lower 70s, 73, and the high or the temperature this afternoon, I think, will be around 62, 64. So yeah, real big difference today when that frontal boundary comes in. It's going to really cool things off. Temperatures, the record 29, record high 89, and we've picked up 17.5 inches of rain. That is no good. But we're getting there. We're seeing more and more chances anyway. At the airport, 73, Stinson Airfield 74, dew points in the upper 60s, which is fairly humid for November. All right, so this is what you can expect today. Temperatures in the 70s this morning. May not even really need much of a jacket. You may need something that's going to keep you dry though. And then temperatures at noon, mid 70s, around 74. And then we go south from there. When that cool front moves in, temperatures will drop. I think we'll be in the low to mid 60s late this afternoon with a chance for some rain. So have the umbrella, and then late this afternoon, you're going to need your jacket. Okay, so this is the composite radar, taking all the radars and putting them together. And you can see there is some rain here, Medina County, Bandera County, and then the darker green, that is heavier rainfall through the hill country and locations out towards the west. All right, so let's take a look. This is the composite radar. Notice how there's just a few blips here and mainly out there towards Medina County and also Bandera County. Let's take a look at just the radar site out of New Braunfels. This will give you a better look as to what's going on. Real small showers. There probably is a little drizzle in here in the county out towards Hondo and Bandera. We've got some showers there. So we're starting to moisten up the atmosphere, and we're going to see definitely a chance for some rain here. Just give it a little time. 73 degrees, Kerrville 69, Gonzales 70, Uvalde's coming in at 69 as well. Here's where our frontal boundary is, really cooling off in Midland. Look at Amarillo 44, and I can guarantee you up in Amarillo, the wind chill's definitely in the 30s up there in the Panhandle. So a little cool air behind this frontal boundary. It's going to be chilly for the next couple of days. All right, so highs across the state yesterday in the 80s, but you can see where the cooler air is coming from, of course, northern portions of the country. We've got an upper level pattern out of the south and west, so overrunning up and over this frontal boundary. Good chance for rain tonight. I think most of it comes to an end tomorrow, but a slight chance for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I think our rain chances will go up again on Monday. So forecast for today, good rain chances, especially this evening and tonight. And some of the rain could be heavy in places. Winds will be definitely increasing as we head through tonight with winds gusting up to around 30 miles an hour or so. Aquifer went down 1/2 foot. Pollen count, mold is light, elm is light, pigweed, ragweed, all light. So here's your forecast for today. Again, temperatures topping out in the mid 70s, 60s this afternoon and evening. Temperatures in the 50s, I think, all day long. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, lots of clouds. And then our chances for rain increase again Sunday night and into Monday. And then the sun comes out. We're back into the low 70s by Wednesday. But you wanted some fall-like weather, and here it is, fall-like weather.
Well, we want the rain, too. I don't care what the temperature is.
Honestly, I forgot about the fact that it was November just because of the weather.
Yes, I know.
Until you said November, you know.